I know you're fishing the juice. Like, you don't have to like pretend it that you're not. I know you're not wanting me to cast up there. This is where it was at.
Oh yeah.
So this is like the 53rd time I've tried to film this video, and I keep rambling on to different things. And basically, I fished a BFL Regional as a co-angler, which everybody's probably like, oh, you must have done shitty because you didn't post a video of that. And yeah, I did shitty because of me. I'm gonna blame it on my boaters. They weren't bad boaters, they were awesome boaters. And that's the problem, is I wasn't mentally focused and prepared, and I was disorganized and I was exhausted, and I sucked. So the fact that they were so good killed me. I did learn a lot in that tournament. The bait that was the most successful for me, the second day it could have been, but I was too stupid to understand what I was doing wrong and missing fish. And also my boater was catching all the fish. But the first day, I was actually behind a very, very good fisherman. So here's the setup. You're in a place you never fished before. Awesome boater, knows how to fish, clear water. You're fishing shallow behind a good fisherman, tossing at wood in the back of a boat, and exhausted. So those four things combined, it was bad. But finally, and I'm gonna be honest, I had to actually throw a very similar bait to what my boater was, and it was weird because there were certain places that were just holding fish. So every time we would go by them, we would catch fish.
It's pretty.
We would come back to them and catch fish.
That's the deal.
I was lucky enough to catch some decent fish behind him.
Yep. I got it. Let's keep it. That's a big one.
It's a good one.
No, that's a big one.
Is it?
That's a big one.
Is it a good one?
That's 3-pounder.
Woo!
What you needed.
Unfortunately, I think I catch 2 keepers and missed 2 keepers. So, but the bait that was most productive for me ended up being this little 3.5-inch tube from Karl's Bait and Tackle. I had a couple tubes with me, but this seemed to be the only one that was getting bit. Like, I was trying to figure out why I couldn't get bit on the other ones, and I think it's because of the same reason I was having a little issue with it, because I had a Texas rig, but it's soft and it was tearing, you know, when you get hung up or get pike. The bottom line was, I decided that the reason I was getting the bites is because it was a softer plastic. It had a little more action than those other ones, and they gravitated to it and they bit it, and this was fantastic. The only problem was I was stupid, and you know, I'm going to a place with smallmouth and largemouth, and I only had 1 bag of these, and if I would have thought ahead, I would have got more, but now I have more because I made an order from Karl's and got some more. This bait was the ticket. My mind's set. Like, second day, I'm going. I need more of these tubes. Well, I hunted all around. I couldn't find any tubes that even got close to resembling this. So I only had like 1 or 2 left. I was trying to like fix them, melt them, whatever I could. But I ended up getting bites the second day, and I was too stupid to understand this since we were fishing completely different. I had a different boater. We were fishing wing dams the second day. We're flipping shallow cover the first day. The smart thing to do in that situation is also the way you're gonna get hung up, but didn't really matter if you don't catch any fish. So I should have switched the hook style. I should have put it on a more conventional tube jig hook, open hook setup, something different. I was still Texas rigging it, and I was getting these bites. Now, I'm not used to catching smallmouth, but I would get a bite and I would set the hook like I was the day before, and nothing was there. So finally, my dumbass I just kind of like sweep to the left, boom, smallmouth, like a 12 or 13 incher. I'm like, holy cow, I've had like 4 or 5 of these same exact bites on these wing dams. And it was kind of hard because my boater was focused. He knew it so well that he knew where the better fish should be. He just explained to me that these fish should be piled up in here, and they just weren't. So it wouldn't have been an issue, but it was. So I was casting along up closer to the top of the wing dam on the down current side, trying to go on the upside. You know, he just wasn't giving me the juice, and I understand. That's you know, he's fishing for a boat. I'm fishing for a boat too. He's the boater. He's got priority. He doesn't have to let me fish at that. I even told him, hey man, I know you're fishing the juice. Like, you don't have to like pretend it that you're not. I know you're not wanting me to cast up there, but how close can I get to that, the end of that wing dam without upsetting you? You know, he said, just don't cast over the top of me. But I was like, you know, as close to his dang shoulder as I could. But I mean, I had to wing it. I had to throw it as hard and far as I could. And I got these bites, and I thought they were just baby fish, you know, little bluegill or something. And they weren't. They were obviously smallmouth, and I was just ripping that sucker right out of their mouths.
Why? I'm setting the hook too hard, and they're probably smallmouth.
So what could have happened? I don't know. But were they 14 inches? Were they all 13 inches? I'll never know. I know, I don't think they were giants. They weren't gonna win it for me, but they could have at least done something for me, at least mentally. Anyway, basically, I don't throw tubes a whole lot. I was worn out, and I didn't go make the decisions I should have. But this bait did work in a place I would never been at, in clear water, behind a freaking stick on the upper Mississippi River in Wisconsin. And so I was pretty impressed with them. Like I said, they're a little soft, they'll tear a little bit, but I think that's why you get the bite. So let me know if you've used these Karl's tubes called the Snacc tube. This color is green pumpkin flake. It's got some purple flake and gold flake. Let me know how you would rig it. I mean, I need some, that's the only thing that was in my brain that I never figured out from him. Or like, how would you have rigged this tube in really pretty tough current? Like, it was rolling, but it's clear water. It's rocky on the bottom. There's also some hang-ups, some trees, some stumps that have lodged in there. So how would you have rigged that? I like that I rigged it Texas style in when we were tossing it at shallow wood. I don't think I would have changed that. I did catch fish, but the problem for me was the current out on the river and the smallmouth. 2021, I'm gonna fish a tube a little more and try to figure these things out. But make sure you get prepared. That's the number one thing, and we'll see where the tournament thing go. I don't know. Keep fishing. We'll see you out there.
Throw on the boat, keeper. Little baby. Baby one. Got too excited.
I don't know if I was supposed to like grab the net or fucking grab you.
Go for the net, man. The fish is more important.